Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding for Senior Report is provided in part by a grant from Andrew Goodell, Assemblyman for the 150th District of the New York State Assembly. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. The physicians of Jamestown Primary Care are happy to sponsor the Senior Report. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
Okay, good morning. What a beautiful day in Chautauqua County. A little bit of water to water the gardens. The grapes are going crazy. So many grapes, they're actually going through and harvesting them now while they're green. They kill off a lot of them because if you have so many grapes, you don't get the sugar content in the rest of them. So they're cutting the vines down a little bit with the grapes. All right, we have a lot of other happy things happening in our county. Of course, the wonderful thing is all the farmers markets. Don't miss your farmers market. Every town, county, everybody in the county has a nice farmers market. You go down by fresh produce, stuff grown right here. Oh, can you go wrong? No way. And you get fresh honey. I see about 4 or 5 honey booths in the one in Westfield. Everybody's into honey. How about that, honey? We have a great guest with us today. We've got Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson has his own company, and he is very experienced in places where you would normally find senior citizens over the long run, such as Fredonia Place, and where they get special housing, special care, even have a community kitchen there. It's just a fantastic setup for a senior that needs a home. They give you good care, and husband and wife often go together so that you have your own apartment. He's the president of and CEO of Human Services Incorporated, and he's been in this county for how many years, Ron?
All my life.
All your life.
3 years in the U.S. Army.
Okay, where were you born?
I was born in Bermuda.
Okay, there you go. A foreigner.
Yeah.
Somebody died, and I remember I saw there a bit not too long ago. Although living in Chautauqua County for 55 years, Mr. Brown is actually a resident of Ripley, where he was born. All right, here we go. Lots of things going on here. I look at the news, it's just maddening because Congress is moribund. They're not doing anything. They're mostly fighting. The Republicans are trying to win the election next year, and Obama keeps saying it's not my fault, it's their fault, and the wars are all George Bush's, and now they want him to go into Syria, I guess it is, isn't it, Syria?
That's what I understand.
Yeah, good Lord. Well, of course, they gassed thousands of people, at least 1,400 they admit to, and the poisonous gas is a big no-no, and it was back in World War II they said, hey, no nation can use poisonous gas, it's just too horrible. And they're using sarin, evidently, which has no odor, no nothing. You don't smell it, you don't know it's there. suddenly you fall dead. That's about the way it works, and go into convulsions and die. And it's they used it on a whole bunch of people last week, and it's unbelievable. And Obama says we got to do something about this. So Brits said we're not going to do anything about it. That's their problem. Most of the world is saying the same thing. A couple of people are going in with us, but Saudi Arabia and France and I don't know, a couple others. But they said, well, we're not going to do too much though. It's all in your basket, United States. You do it. All right, so whatever. The world goes on, and nothing's happening that's really good news these days. Chautauqua County is good news, though. It's just beautiful up here, and we have the lovely fall is imminent, and of course everybody's going to have a wonderful weekend because it's a long weekend. You get 4 days off if you take an extra day, which a lot of people do. But I think it's just terrific living here. I can't get over the hunting and fishing is wild. Now don't forget to get your new hunting licenses because your old one expires October 1st. It's over, so you got to get a new one. And if you're a senior citizen, used to be they were free, then they went up to $5, and then I think $10, and then they said, oh, well, seniors, we'll give you an offer before we raise it out of sight. If you want a lifetime membership for $50, we'll give that to you. So I took it, and every year I get free hunting and fishing, as though I should have to pay for it. Good Lord. And they're letting the kids hunt now. They're trying to get the kids into hunting and fishing. They're not into it. You know what they're into, don't you? Computers. They sit around playing games on the computers all day long. And the telephone where they text each other constantly all day long. Hunting, forget it. But they're letting the younger hunters go out. It used to be they were limited to 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds, whatever. Now, actually, a 14-year-old can go hunting with a parent or guardian. And more of them are, at least. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think hunting and fishing is going to be what it was for the next generation, or what it was for my generation. All of us who, everybody got a deer and they caught a muskie. That was part of growing up. I never caught a muskie. I did catch a couple, but I never got them on a boat. You know, big fish. Funny thing about muskie fishing, New York State, the DEC in their wisdom, very confused sometimes, they announced that you can only keep a muskie that is over 42 inches. Well, let me tell you something. Only females grow to 42 inches. The males don't. They're about 25 inches, 30, maybe 35 inches. So you're going to kill all the females, the ones you lay in the eggs, the ones you want to keep. And you're going to have a massive number of senior citizen males. No eggs. A lot of them are, incidentally, we do have a great hatchery here, though, in Chautauqua County, where they do hatch out a zillion muskellunge, and they release them into Lake Chautauqua. And if we can keep above the weeds somehow, you're going to have a lot of muskie fishing, hopefully. All right, guys, another quick note in Chautauqua County here. Well, let's say all of New York State, really. Taxes are going up again, they tell me. And Fred Crosscut, whose position has been basically combined, his constituents is combined with another one. And he's going to be, he's running hard, but he tells us we may be in for a 20% tax hike again in the largest, highest tax county in the United States, Chautauqua County, believe it or not. Another 20% possible. Let's hope not. Because before long, there'll be nobody here to pay the taxes. It'll be all people who are indigent, poor. And of course, Greg is still trying to sell. He just found another potential buyer for the county home, which we've had, has been an institution in Chautauqua County for a century for the seniors that have paid taxes here and built the county all their lives. Suddenly, they had a place to go if they were indigent, meaning broke, which many seniors, 7 out of 10 senior families go bankrupt ultimately because of health care. Yeah, believe it or not. And some of them are very sick and have no place to go, and they had the county home, which was in DeWittville one time. As a matter of fact, a century ago, they used to raise their own crops over there. Now it's institutionalized, and we have a county home, which is like a great big hospital in many ways. Wonderful care, but Greg is trying to sell it, and he just came up with somebody else. This is his third person he found. I don't know why he keeps finding people. Maybe we just keep it for a while. It doesn't cost that much, really, when you figure it all out. All right, at any rate, enough said, enough editorial comment. I'm going to give you a little bit of senior news here. I've got some interesting points here. They're having a safe driving course, 9 to 10, on September 9 and 10th, from 9 to noon each day over at the Mount Carmel Seniors. And they have the safe driving course all over the place and regularly. And if you have some points, you lose the points. If you get a 10% off on your insurance, and you meet a lot of nice people, have a lot of smiles, and you have a nice little snack. You can't go wrong. So when you see the safe driving course, you have to take it every 3 years to qualify for the discount. Take it. It's a good deal. They're having I don't know, the Lakeshore Seniors, I got a note here for them. They meet at the Dunkirk Senior Center in President Stella Michalak. And they have a great program over there, Lakeshore Seniors, at the Senior Center. You know, the Dunkirk Senior Center is beautiful. You can do indoor laps in the winter. Yeah, it's huge. It's an old school. They're going to have painted flower pots for their September 8th gala. And they have regularly have big bingo. I don't know what big bingo, how it differs from little bingo, but they have big bingo, big bingo, try to say that 3 times, regularly. And they have an exercise group over there. And they say, happy marriage to Tiffany Penharlow over there. Hey, how about that? Brockton, Portland, great bunch of people, very busy. They did meet at the Brockton Legion, which just closed. I don't know what they're going to do now. Oh, well. So there's just not enough business going on over there. Yeah, don't go to the Brockton Legion anymore. It's closed. Silver Creek Seniors, they have their own little clubhouse, one of the rare senior groups that doesn't meet in a public area. They have their own clubhouse over on Route 5 and 20, about where they meet. And they have a big group of people there. And I don't know, the Stockton, Castleton, Lilydale people, they meet at the Legion, and the Legions are good, and the fire departments are good regularly for their monthly meeting. And they have a great luncheon, as all do, great fellowship, and lots of nice things. They're telling me that my time is up for the news, but I've only read a couple of items here. All right, September 9th, I would suggest that you go over there to Stockton Lilydale. They'll have a hot dog and ice cream social. I love it. Lakeshore Seniors, quick note here. They, as I mentioned, meet at the Dunkirk Center, and what a center it is. And incidentally, today and tomorrow, fireworks at the ferry. A couple of our team members here, Randy and Chris Bird, are heading over there right now to the ferry. Randy is the pilot. He's the guy who runs it. He's captain of the ship, of the ferry, which goes across for free, but you're asked to make a donation. It used to be a quarter when I was a kid. You get a nice little ride across the lake at the short area. You know, they use Chautauqua, they claim, means a number of things, but one of the things is bag tied in the middle. And that bag tied in the middle is where the ferry goes across, down around the middle of the lake. So at any rate, go over there if you want to see some fireworks tonight, if it doesn't rain. Oh, just Sunday. Excuse me. One of my callers, one of my people just pointed out it's only on Sunday. So that's tomorrow, mañana. Okay. Don't forget to stop off at that lovely museum in Moore Park and meet with the curator, John Wolfe, who does a fantastic show. He takes you around and gives you a tour of the place. And they have the oldest fountain in the world or something. They have the beautiful old portraits of the famous people in Chautauqua, many of whom you never heard of before. And right now they're telling me my time is up and they're going to shut me down because it's time for a public service announcement, and then we'll be hearing from Doc, who shoots from the hip. Here's for you.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Okay, the National Guard. John, you're on. What's up? Okay.
I never talk till I come on. Oh, I'm over here. Oh,
there you go.
Wait,
Wait
a minute.
They're scalping.
Wait a minute. I can fix this.
Yeah,
I know how to do this.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no,
No,
I got to
that
go this
still
way
doesn't
now.
do it.
There we go. We had these preamp
Yeah, somebody's
camera. We are short on staff here today, and I got a haircut, it looks like. There we
There
go.
you go. Okay.
Wow, that was weird, wasn't it? All right. Well, anyway, to start the show. Well, Reed, I wanted to share with you that I was talking to some family members the other day, and we got fans up in the Fredonia area that are like really young. I just want to do a shout out to my nieces and my great nieces, Shelley, Summer, Ember, and Sage. They watch the show faithfully. They get a kick out of you. They think you're funny.
Well,
they don't understand.
Well, I'll tell you something. They're actually looking for the Big Macs.
Anybody
who called in got a Big Mac.
There you go. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm happy that we've got viewers of all ages, and one of the things they shared with me, and Shelley did anyways, is that she likes the fact that there's a live show that people can express their opinions. And, when you read print, I won't say anything in particular, but it's a one-sided column. There it is. That's the person's opinion. We're here. You can call in. You can talk. And I encourage folks to do call in on the show.
Yeah, give them the number.
Well, Chris... There it is.
There we are.
Magic.
753 Jack.
There you go.
5225. Anybody who calls in, you can say anything you want. You can give somebody a clap on the back or a boot in the rear, whatever you want. This is your time.
And I'm the friendly voice on the other line.
And you're the magic
I'm
carpet.
the man. I will. But if you act really strange, we do shut you off. Okay, I got a couple announcements, and then I'll just kind of share a couple things with you. The Town of Terror, the Safety Village, is still looking for organizations to set up at the town in October for a big Town of Terror $1,000 prize to the top group. And if you're interested, yeah.
It's a lot of bananas.
Call Terry Kinberg at 499-8138, 499-8138, the Safety Village, Terry Kinberg.
Tell them you want $1,000.
You can win $1,000, and there's different prizes for whoever has the best part in the display there. Okay, Chris, if you bring up the next thing for me. See that? The power of TV. Coming up next Saturday, Reed. This is going to be fun. Now, if you like local music, this is for the Infinity Kids over in Jamestown, but it crosses across the whole county. This is a special showcase where all the guys, you can't read it, but if you see the posters over on, let's see, on my right side, I guess it's the way it is a list of all the different places, and Labyrinth, Mojo's, the Wine Cellar, the pub, and so forth. And all the groups, there's like about 30 groups there, have all donated their time. You pay $10, I believe it is, at one of the locations, and you can go to all the different venues and see music all evening in Jamestown, and it's all for the kids in Infinity. And you think, well, how does that affect us? These are future musicians and artists, actors, graphic artists, and so forth. These kids all go through the programs over there, and it's countywide. And I'm happy to be one of the
Kids for Infinity. What is it?
Well, it's Infinity. Infinity is for the arts and music for students throughout Chautauqua County. It's a great program. Bill and I will be over at the Labyrinth starting at 6th.
You and Bill, you're a band. You sing Irish music, right?
Irish and American folk music, sure. Okay, and which brings me to a sad moment, Reed. Doc's Wall of Shame. I have a new inductee. I didn't think I was going to induct anybody really very soon, but I was running through the house the other day doing my chores, my honey-do list, and I kept hearing all about this stuff that had been on TV the night before on the music show, and they were talking about none only than my new inductee, Miley Cyrus. So she joins Donald Trump, Clint Eastwood, Rush Limbaugh, and of course your favorite, Anthony Weiner. Guys, I'm a musician, and I'm from the 60s and the 70s. I'm liberal, but this was a bunch of garbage. If I was putting together a show, I would never even consider putting that garbage on TV. It was just garbage. It wasn't music. It wasn't dance. It wasn't in good taste.
It's just sort of a bump of the rear end. What do they call it?
The twerk.
The twerk.
So, Miley, I'm sorry, but Try again, kid.
You're a jerk, Twig.
Back to you, Reed.
Okay, bump it with a trumpet, guys. Well, thank you. John Hamels, telling it like it is. We've got a guest here. There he is now, finally. And he didn't believe he was going to be on the show at all. I told him we just use his name to get people to watch today. Well, Ron is, I don't know, pretty well-known guy in our county. He's the president and CEO of Human Services, Inc., which does a lot of work with seniors and senior placement, right?
That's correct. We do a lot of housing for seniors and for dependent adults.
Okay, and you said you were born and raised right here in Chautauqua County, huh?
Yeah, I was born in Bermuda, is what I said.
Yeah,
and
right,
Bermuda. That was the only time I haven't been here. My dad was a prisoner of war in World War II on the Bataan Death March, and when he was liberated, he got to pick where he wanted to go, and Bermuda seemed to be the place.
Okay, well, I can't blame him. I go to Bermuda all the time. I'm going down on the 17th of November, as a matter of fact. It's a great trip, Bermuda or the Bahamas, and you can do it for nothing, $450 for a 8-day trip. All the food you can eat, 6 restaurants, 8 bars, 7 countries, whatever you want, you know, for $450. You can't even eat here for that. Cruising is great, guys. Don't overlook it. If you want to have some fun, go take a cruise ship. You go out of New York, or you can go out anywhere you want if you don't mind taking a airline flight. But New York is easy. You drive right down, and away you go. They load them up there. So, Ron, you are partially responsible for one of the really big, famous ones around here, Fredonia Place, right?
Fredonia Place was my dream, and before myself, it was my dad's dream. He dreamed about having a large facility, and then my dream went to, I wanted a facility that was not necessarily built for seniors, but built for me. And if I would want to live there, then they would want to live there too, and then there would be other services so seniors could live there comfortably. Yeah. That was the original plan.
Well, one of our ex-members who worked here had John Hamels' position a long time. Is over there now. He tells me he loves it there. Mort Flexer. Well, Ron, if you are, I've got to mention this. You're running for a county executive, meaning the chief guy in the county, and Greg is bowing out. I guess he's had enough of it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that I was running for county executive. I didn't know if you were going to get to that.
Well, again, we don't do political things, but you know, when is the election, incidentally?
November 5th.
November 5th, and you're past the primary?
I'm past the primary. There's no primary for me.
Okay.
I'm going right to the general.
Okay, and we have your opponent, which I'll mention. Greg is running against you. And are there any other people out there running?
There's a number of legislative races. There's
Vince Forrigan, I might say. I forgot.
The number of legislative races. We've got one right here in the Sherman area. We've got some races in Jamestown. And the big thing is to get out and vote. That's the whoever you support.
Okay, the primaries will be earlier, right?
Primaries are September 10th.
September 10th. Make sure you go out there. I noticed one of our regulars, Fred Crosscut, is running. They combined his district, and of course we dropped from what, 24, 26 or something to 19 now, because we just don't need that many, you know. And Erie County has what, 5?
We've got a real energetic candidate in the Sherman area too. Who's going to be running against Fred, and
who's that?
I think he's doing a real good job. Ed Karras.
Okay. I'll tell you something. The county is very alive and active these days, and I don't know why anybody runs for a political office anymore, because they really look up everything on you. All kinds of background checks and everything, and they always find out you have a girlfriend or something, or.
I don't have one of those.
You don't? You didn't get one?
No, I have a wife. And
well, all the people have a girlfriend and have a wife, of course, you know. But you didn't get entangled, huh?
I've got a best friend.
Best friend.
As my wife.
Well, most of us do too, I might add. Yours truly, I might add. We have a big county here. It's it has many wonderful places. We've got Jamestown particularly, which is well known for many things, furniture among others. Long time ago, when people moved in there, they had a lot of people from Scandinavia drop in, and they were specialists in furniture.
Well, Reed, I remember the county too. I grew up here and grew up in Arkwright, farming area. My uncles were both farmers on both sides of my dad, and I remember a county when the county government was the most amazing thing. County highway always had the biggest trucks, and county highway, if you wanted to go somewhere from point A to point B in the wintertime, you always got on a county road because it was without snow. I remember when I started in the Sheriff's Department, I was 20 years in the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Department. I remember the pride in county government and county workers and how people looked up to our county, and it was always moving, and we were always doing something. The reason I got into this race is, as a businessman here, I saw the county in decline, and that really bothered me. And so I decided to, instead of standing on the sidelines and complaining, I'd move in and try to do something, and use my skills to make county government better. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
Well, great. I hope that our new county exec, whoever it may be, Vince Harrigan or you, Ron Johnson, does try to invigorate the county, among other things. Try to set up I don't know, the taxes are maddening here. We've got to do something about the taxes, and something about the weeds on Chautauqua Lake.
Can I take those one at a time?
Go ahead.
Taxes and weeds, that's pretty funny, but it seems as though in the last few years we've been paralyzed. High taxes, state mandates, deficit budgets. And as a businessman, I dealt with those every single day. You have to do something else. You can't be paralyzed by that. You have to grow your business. You have to go around those things and try to grow your business in other ways. And we don't seem to be doing that here. And I plan on doing that. Some of these realities of high taxes, but there are other counties in this state that are growing now, and they have the same state taxes. They have the same mandates, and they seem to be growing. We seem to be in decline. We've got to stop that. We've got to do that better.
How many people do we have now? It's down to 40,000 or something?
Of people in the county?
Yeah.
130,000.
130,000.
There's 40 or 50,000 voters. I'm hoping that we get that many out to vote. I believe that if we get that many out to vote, I'm going to win. We can't have people just sitting on their duff.
Yeah,
they got to get out and vote this year.
Right. Don't complain if you don't vote anyway. Many people, I don't know. Many people feel it's all rigged. I don't think.
What, the election is rigged? I don't know about that. I'm hoping that's not the case.
No, I'm kidding. Actually, the rich and powerful do control elections a lot, but you're not rich and powerful. You're running just as a normal guy, right?
Absolutely. I'm a long ways from rich and powerful.
That's the people we need, is poor people, I think, running the government. Then they understand the nightmare we're living with because of the very heavy Medicaid costs. Medicaid is New York State's the only state that saddled the local poor counties with half the state's Medicaid costs, which is outrageous. I think there are just 2 states that are doing this. So we have a monster Medicaid cost because we have an awful lot of people who are very poor and who do need social services, which is a big bite out of our budget. And then we got Medicaid, which has half seniors, I might add. It's a senior program for the most part, and it's just murdering us. We got to worry about these things and try to do something about them.
Well, one of the things we do is create more jobs and more economic opportunity in the county. If we can create more jobs instead of seeing this decline in jobs. We've lost 7,500 jobs in this county in the last 7 years. We've got to stop that decline. If we don't, everyone will be in that poverty line, and that makes it very difficult to live here and to grow here.
Okay, well, caller, we have a caller. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Go ahead. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning.
What's up?
I was just wondering where he stands on the New York State SAFE Act and the Second Amendment and gun control in general.
Good question, caller. And of course, the NRA is going to have something to say about this, and Cuomo thinks he wants to run. He's not going to make dog catcher. There are more NRA members in this country, not to mention state, than there are voters. And I hope the NRA goes after him tooth and claw. Because of what he did, and he violated the state constitution, he violated the United States Constitution, and this man should be in jail.
I agree with you, and I'm a life member, my wife's a life member, and my daughter's a life member of the NRA.
Okay, what's your comment on that?
Oh, my comment is, when Reed talked about hunting, my family were hunters. I remember the age of passing when you get your first BB gun when I was 8 or 9 years old. 14 was the time when we actually got a hunting license, and I could hunt ducks and pheasants. I remember way back then. At 16, you became you had another passing, and you were a deer hunter. So my family were all hunters. I was a deputy sheriff. I was in the Army for 3 years in Vietnam in '67 and '68, and I also was a deputy sheriff in this county for 20 years. I owned guns. My family owned guns, and I wouldn't support anything that would keep me from owning them.
Yeah, well, it turns out that both of our legislators in the state level, Andy and Kathy, have voted against it, and they're trying to repeal it. But the downstaters have so much power and control, they're not going to let them repeal it. That's what it looks like, anyway.
We can hope.
We can hope, and God bless all our people and residents, and everybody in Chautauqua County has guns and has been raised with guns, and they don't go around shooting people. It's only the nutcakes, the madmen that do it, and these people aren't getting any help anyway. The government's constantly trying to cut back on health care.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thanks for your comment. We have another guest here, incidentally. I wanted to introduce her, and she has strong feelings about gun control. Brenda, good morning.
Good morning.
I guess we can't get to you. Come on, switch that over to the John Hamill's seat. Brenda's secured off in the distance, but we're going to fix her. We got one of our top technicians in the world right here working on it. And there's Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Good morning.
Brenda happens to be the better half of Ron Johnson's, and she is quite active herself. She's she works with the insurance in the county, right, Brenda?
I do. Good morning.
And what do you do for insurance here? You know, of course, they're killing the seniors, throwing them under the bus, really.
Well, I actually work for Kitty Crow under her supervision in the health insurance office for Chautauqua County.
Uh-huh. And what do you do over there?
As I try to assist with Kitty with any health insurance issues for the employees and or the retirees.
Especially the retirees.
Especially the retirees. They are my special.
Uh-huh. How long have you been doing this?
I believe at this time about 10 years now, 11 years.
Well, that makes you an old pro. What do you think of your husband here running for county exec?
I'm very excited for Ron, and he has 100% of my support.
So you're behind him all the way. You're going to vote for him then?
I am.
Do you have any kids?
Ron does. I do not. So I consider those my kids.
Okay. How many do you have? They all can vote by now, I hope.
Yeah, my son James, he's in the Coast Guard.
He'll need an absentee ballot then.
Well, the sequester is put him back on reserve, and he's back here and now works for Samsung Corporation and is on the road.
Very good.
So
he'll vote for you.
I'm sure he will.
Now, we have an awful lot of things going on in the county, and we touched on one. What are they going to do about Chautauqua Lake? It's getting weeded in and weeded in. The only thing they've come up with is they give it a haircut every once in a while. They mow it like a lawn. They have, 3 mowers running up and down there, and Pat McGee gave us 2 of them years ago. But unfortunately, much of the just like when you're clipping your grass, much of the clippings get loose, and they're all over the place, and they can only mow a small amount. They really, and it doesn't last long. It's like mowing your lawn. It goes right back, right?
Well, we've got to look at that as we've got to have a much larger picture of our solutions. We have small step solutions because we wring our hands because we don't have money. That's the line. But I believe that we need to have one big comprehensive plan, both for saving Chautauqua Lake and also for the water system in the north end of the county. And if we use our resources in a bigger way and have some a longer term plan, and actually go out and get the money to do this and do it once and for all, I think it would solve a lot of our problems. It's
expensive trying to do something about it. They want to poison. We got a couple of calls. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Hey, morning caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're on.
I have a question for your guest, please.
Sure.
Your opponent has something he calls a 3-point something or other plan, and to me it sounds a lot of the same stuff we've been hearing, but just kind of grouped differently. Could you care to comment on his plan or what you would do instead?
What's the 3-point plan devised for?
It's for the county,
just
for the future of the county.
Keeping the county going. Okay, what do you think?
Well, I'm not going to comment on my opponent's 3-point plan or any plan that he has. I believe that what we need to do is we need to change our thrust. We have to, first of all, there has to be partnerships between everyone involved. We have to make partnerships with the towns and the villages, and we have to make partnerships with our business, and we have to make partnerships with our seniors, and partnerships with the county workers and the workforce in the county. These partnerships will give us will pay dividends. What I want to do is I look at the county executive. If I look at the county in a business model, you entrust a great deal of money to me to invest in your future, and I believe that you should get a return on your investment. That return doesn't necessarily come in profit. That return comes in infrastructure, in economic development, in goodwill, in a positive outlook for the county, for things like the lake and the water in the north end of the county. I look at economic development in this county and I see that we have to do this better, because if you look at what we've done in the past, we've seemed to be stagnant. Mark Thomas, when he was here, he always had a plan. He always had something that they were going to do, and they made the industrial parks, and the industrial parks now are full, and we've not done that since Mark Thomas was here. One of the things I'm going to do on day one is we're going to have what I call an economic SWAT team. I'm going to go out and identify every single economic development site, every place where we could develop economically, and I could market to employers and to people from outside the county to move here. We're not going to be surprised from an idea that we're going to lose Petri baking in Silver Creek. We're not going to be surprised at the last day that we find out that a food processing plant doesn't have any water, and we lose that. That Asheville plant, I don't know who was asleep at the switch there, but we're not going to be asleep at those switches.
What happened in Asheville in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, we get to the end of the process and find out that the Saturn Pet Food Company needs 200,000 gallons of water a day. We couldn't provide it there at that point, and we lost them. That was 200 and some jobs, I understand. But we have water up to Cummins. We could have had water to that site, and we should have known way early on, if we're going to market that site, that someone in that site is going to need water.
When did this happen?
Early this year.
Early this year.
Yeah.
One of the 75 7,500 jobs scenarios lost, right? How long has it been that we lost 7,500 jobs?
7,500 jobs in the last 7 years, and those 150 or 200 jobs at the Saturn Pet Food Factory is not in that number. Those are jobs that never got here. I'm talking about jobs we had 7 years ago and we don't have now. That's those jobs.
What's your take on the combination of the silly entities we have all over the county? We have a number of towns which only have one village in them. But the town has a board, it has its machinery, it has its garages, and the village has its board and its machinery and its garages and its cost. And everybody says, why don't you combine these things?
And I would like to combine them, and the way we're going to combine them, we talk about consolidation, and a lot of times when we talk about consolidation, we talk about taking things over. The county would take over the town or take over this particular entity. And we always get pushback because people value their identity. So what I'm looking at is I would like to see us with a partnership with the towns and the village and the county, and to do things in concert. They have shared services in the for the county highway, and it seems to work very well, but it's hit or miss, and I think we need to be more formal at that, and then we need to do a lot of services like that will enhance each other and save money in the process.
So you could combine them and save a buck.
Absolutely.
And nobody's doing it, but it could be done. Westfield can't. You know why?
No, I don't.
Well, because a million years ago, when they set up the turbines in Niagara Falls to build electricity, nobody buy it. And they said, well, look, we got all this electricity now, and we're manufacturing it. Anybody who wants to take it, we'll give you a real sweetheart deal. One of the towns or villages that took, village, Westfield, said, we'll take some. So they got it for peanuts. And the contract is written in such a way that they still get it for peanuts. We're paying, I think, a nickel or something, a megawatt or whatever, and everybody else is paying 20 cents. Yeah. So we got a heck of a deal, but it's a village contract. Now, if they, usually the town swallows up the village, that's the way it works, a bigger entity. And if they combine the Niagara Mohawk, say, oh, it's your contract, you don't exist anymore, goodbye, back to 20 cents.
Well, hydropower is a big thing that we have here in this county. We don't market it well enough. There are programs in the state that we could get hydropower for manufacturers who come here. We can get hydropower allocations. We haven't done any of that.
It's cheap if you do it that way.
The state, and I know we talked earlier about some of the things that we don't care about what the governor does, but one of the things that the governor is doing is he wants to bring money to Western New York. If we look at Western New York counties, Buffalo, the Billion for Buffalo is one of the programs. Buffalo is moving now. Genesee County is moving, and the Genesee County is using a blueprint that was developed by Mark Thomas.
There you go. We got it solved.
All right.
Mark Thomas, we'll get back. Developed. Caller, you're on. Thank you for waiting.
Yes, I was wondering your guest's opinion on alternative energy and energy like solar and other types of energy.
Well, let's talk about energy in Dunkirk. It looks like the Chamber of Commerce and a number of other potent organizations want to do away with it. Bye-bye. They say you can't get the power you transmit out now because you don't have the lines, and it'll cost $100 million or $1 billion, I guess, to actually put those lines up. And so they're saying, kiss it goodbye. In the meantime, it's half our taxes in the county and Dunkirk, and at this point, nobody knows quite what to do, and they're trying to rescue it, and against heavy opposition, I might add. So what's your take on that?
Well, I totally support the gasification of the Dunkirk plant. Natural gas is a clean alternative to the coal burner that is there. If Dunkirk closes, the National Grid is going to buy power from Ohio and Pennsylvania that has coal burning plants that are not even as clean as the Dunkirk plant. And so if we're talking about clean energy, that's the way to go. If we're talking about economic development, If someone wants to invest, a private investor wants to invest $550 million in our area, I can't see anybody that's against that. Now, I understand that people would like to see wind power and solar power, and I want to see that too. But what we have to do is we've got someone who's going to invest $550 million right now, keep our area vibrant, and keep our area growing, and we have to continue to do that. As far as what you said, that we can't get the power out if we generate in Dunkirk, that's not correct. All the studies show that, and the reason why National Grid asked the Dunkirk plant to stay open when they had a plan to mothball it, is because our area is all designed for power generation in the Dunkirk plant. The Dunkirk plant drops off, and then we become the end of the line. Now, what National Grid wants to do is upgrade their transmission facilities into Pennsylvania and Ohio. I don't see any way that the PSC can rule that it's a good idea for us to develop power from in other states when they need to look at what we do here. And this is the place we need to generate power and to grow our economy.
Yeah, well, there's a talk of running a line down from Canada with power. I mean, this is all silliness in my book.
Now, when we can do it here, we can do it here effectively, and we can do it here environmentally sound, and do it here well.
Okay, and they say wind and solar. Now, the trouble with wind is you have these great big machines, monster machines, that render the landscape disgusting, in my book. And in order to generate the power that they generate in energy right now, or until recently, they need windmills at the proper distance. I think it's very close, from Cleveland to Buffalo, to generate that much power.
Mm-hmm.
And so the windmills are a big problem. And then you've got the solar or nuclear. Well, solar energy is good. It's clean, it's fast, it's easy. They've got new solar panels that are very effective. And you can actually put them along the side of the road, use the sun from the road too, I might add.
Well, anybody that's against NRG's program in Dunkirk, and then they would say because of wind power and solar power. NRG is a very large company. They don't just do Dunkirk. In fact, NRG is one of the largest producers of solar power and wind power. So to support that operation, you'd be supporting all those things that people are looking for.
There you go. Okay, and of course nuclear power. Well, we're seeing what's happening over in Japan right now. They're throwing tons of radioactive water out into the sea, and it's just it's insanity. And that's what can happen. You get one little accident with a nuclear plant, and oh boy, stand back. There's half of Russia's dead up in the Arctic because of the plant that blew up there in a meltdown. Energy is still potentially good. Why is the I think it's the New York State Chamber of Commerce or whatever, why are they against keeping it going? Is there any reason, any rationale, excepting maybe they have an investment or something, or what?
I have no idea. I don't understand. And I understand the Chamber of Commerce has backed away from that their initial condemnation of that program, and I think they've backed away from that some. I think if you look at their position now, they're more in support of the Dunkirk plant. Good.
Well, I hope so, because if it goes under, this county, I don't know how it's going to survive. I know Dunkirk can't survive.
It'll be difficult.
They'll have to fire all the workers in the county left after the 7,500 we've lost in the last 7 years. That's 1,000 a year we're losing, and we'll have a hell of a year coming up. God help us. We're chatting with Ron Johnson. He's the president and CEO of Human Services, Inc., and he has developed a number of homes for seniors, including Fredonia Place, which is a really remarkable outfit. And you have Johnson Homes yourself, don't you? Don't you have a business of homes?
Yeah, I have. We've had as many as 8 at one point. I'm down to 2 now. I'm actually trying to retire, but
well, let Brenda help you. She's a lot younger.
She certainly could do that, but I want her to retire too. So I say that, and she always jokes about it. I say I want to retire, and then I'm going to run for county executive. It doesn't make much sense, but I'll have a better county to retire to.
I hope so. I know our county has such beauty and such a draw for tourism, and so many incredible institutions. Speaking of Chautauqua Institute, which is legendary, it's in the dictionary worldwide, and widely now there are other areas that are trying to copy it. They got one out in California, or one in Colorado, I know, and 2 or 3 others they're trying to put together. Disney has one.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. And the Chautauqua Amphitheater is going to get a big facelift, they tell me. They're going to do all kinds of things over there.
Well, we've got to market our county. We've got to market our county much better than we've done it. And I want to get I'm going to be on the road after January, and I'm going to be marketing, bringing people here. One of the things we don't market in this county well enough is that I talked to a gentleman who started an engineering company, and he had to get 100 engineers. And he had to go to California and find them. And he brought them here, not in this county, but in Buffalo. And he said that the way he would do it is he would bring them here. They would see the beautiful area, and then he would take them for a tour of a house that was for sale. And they would ask, how much is this house? A beautiful house, and it's $400,000. And the people were amazed, because in California that house would be $5 million. What we don't realize, and we don't sell enough, is that for most economic areas in the world, property in Chautauqua County is virtually free. People come here and cannot believe that they can have a house on the lake that looks like the Gulf of Mexico for $400,000 or $500,000.
You don't even need that much around in Westfield. I just bought a lovely house with a big lot for $25,000, and there are a lot of houses going for under $50,000 all over the county.
And we don't market that enough. We don't bring that to employers. I need to bring them here and say, look, your workforce is going to be able to live very well in Chautauqua County. As we wring our hands because we have high taxes and we have state mandates, we've got to stop doing that. We got to look positive on our county, bring people here and show them what we're doing in the county. Show them the beautiful place they can live, and they can live for very inexpensively.
Peanuts. You can buy tomatoes for free almost
absolutely.
This time of year.
And then what happens when we do that? If I'm successful in that plan, and I do bring people here, and people start to come here and they start to buy property, all of a sudden the people that live here now, the people that are here now listening to me, their property starts to rise. And when that property rises, your share of the taxes go down and things start to happen.
Let's hope so, because one of the sad things is a lot of seniors losing their houses because of the incredible drop in their Social Security, because the government refuses to give them decent amounts for their COLA, and so they have to spend their money for other things. So they wind up in their children's basement, and they'll be eating this stuff right here, cat food. It's cheap. I'm going to write a recipe book for this.
Cat food recipe?
Yeah, this is a tender slices thing, and they have the tuna isn't bad at all. You got to drain it, and then you add a lot of mayonnaise to it. And it's delicious. It's not bad at all.
You've ruined me for lunch. I'll tell you that.
Well, I tell you, it's the beef is great, but again, you rinse it off and you put gravy on it, and it's just perfectly delicious. And it's nutritious, and it's virtually free. You can buy it for nothing. You can get a whole big can of this stuff for like 30 cents. I mean, how can you go wrong, Ron?
One of the things we got to do. You talked about that about the seniors that are hurting, and everybody's hurting. And they're cutting their Social Security. We're cutting everything now, and that seems to be one philosophy of government. And I think the people that expound that philosophy, they don't like government to start with, so they're not looking for a solution. We cannot cut ourselves to prosperity. We have to somehow do something else. We need to do some more development, and we have to bring things in so these people that are hurting, they will be brought up too, and that's what I think we need to do here.
I think the newest industry in Chautauqua County is retirees. As you point out, you can come up here, buy yourself a house for $20,000, $30,000, a whole house, and live like a king on your retirement, which you might have gotten from Long Island, where you're getting $30,000, $40,000 a year in retirement, and you can live very well here. And you have the tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes this time of year.
This time of year they're free, and you got cucumbers. Don't leave your car on Main Street unlocked, friends, because it'll be full of cucumbers and just zucchinis and puppies and baby cats.
We've got a lot of those.
Yeah, we have a lot of those. A lot of kittens this time of year.
My mom, who used to have a garden, and I swear that we could have fed the world of zucchini out of that garden.
One zucchini or cucumber plant is enough to feed the whole county if it's properly cultivated. I wanted to say goodbye to Brenda. Oh, Brenda, you're not going to be on the air unless you come over here. You got to walk over here. See? There you go. Now we can see you in part.
There she is.
Good morning, Reed.
Good morning. Brenda's been suffering through this whole thing, watching Ron trying to explain what we've got to do here in the county, and you're behind him all the way.
I am 100%. I'm looking forward to it, and I just want you to get out and vote and support my husband, Ron.
Right. Everybody should get out and vote, and if you don't vote, stop your bitching, because you've got to vote. Okay.
Here, here.
Well said.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Reed.
It's a pleasure having you on, incidentally,
My
Brenda.
pleasure.
Okay, we're getting down toward the end here, Ron, and I had one more question I wanted to ask you that everybody quibbles about in the county, and that is, what are we going to do about bringing those jobs into the county? You said you're going to go out and drag them in. We need jobs. We need jobs, and that's the only way we're going to raise our economy to where we're viable at this point. Quick answer.
Quick answer, we got to go and get them here. We have to first find out where we can have them. We have to go out and find the sites that we need. We need to invest in those sites, and then we have to bring those jobs here. We have to do a better job in economic development, and we have to do it more effectively.
Well, we had a lot of jobs when I was a kid. Everybody picked grapes. And now they've got these big lumbering machines that run up and down the vines, and they pull all the grapes off, and all the grape pickers are unemployed now.
We should go find some, we should find someone who makes those grape pickers and build them here.
Build them. You know, they were invented here, right in Westfield.
Then we should be building them here.
I think it was a guy named Cowan was involved in it, and Sanderson was involved, and they built the first one right in Westfield in the garage.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
And then it went from there. Of course, the big companies take them over eventually, and everybody's got one. Well, Ron Johnson, I'm going to give you 30 seconds of uninterrupted time to sort of wrap up, and then we're going to be taken right off the air. You're on.
Wow, that's puts a lot of pressure on me. I want to thank you for having me here. I'm proud to be doing this, proud to be running as county executive, and I'm going to be proud to be county executive. Our county is going to grow in the next number of years, and we're going to do it because we're going to do business differently than we do now.
Good. You got a telephone number?
Sure. You can call my campaign number at 338-8607.
338-8607. And will you answer the phone?
I answer it a lot. Sometimes my staff member will be there, but if you call and you want to talk to me, they'll get to me right away.
They'll get you. We just got that dreaded sound.
Oh, no.
We're out of here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Last caller, I'm sorry we didn't get you, but you'll come back sometime, won't you?
I sure will.
Yeah, after
this has been fun.
Exec or whatever, maybe. I wish you both the best of luck, and may the best man win, and he usually does. I want to say a special, beautiful thank you to all those people that have made this program possible. We've got Chuck Kelsey, Devin Taylor, Chris Burke, Randy Burke, Chris Remaker, Jeff Zook, Don Zenz, John Hamels, and everybody else out there who calls in and gives us a little bit of spirit and joy. Get out and have a wonderful party for Labor Day. It's a time to just relax and enjoy your family. Get the barbecue warmed up. Have a lot of pleasure in your friends and family. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.